Shalom. I want to first start off giving our praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors unto our apostles, as well as the men that taught them, the elder high priests, as well as the elder bishops, and the elders at Great Millstone. Peace and blessings unto the 144,000 and the rest of the elect of the nation of Israel. This is the brother Abadia from the GMS Houston camp. And I have a scripture to go into real quick. So this is going to be a quick hit. If the Lord say the same, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bahasham Makakwadash say the same. And Lord willing is edifying and also exhorting to, your spirit. And I'm here in the book of Proverbs, chapter 2, and verse 11. It reads, "Discretion shall preserve thee. Understanding shall keep thee." Now, this is a short verse. All right, let's go back through it. Starting with this word discretion. Discretion goes back to the word discern. To be able to have discernment. Okay? And us being in this truth, we heard the word. We believed, we ate the roll, studied, and we keep eating the roll and studying, right? And we gather the knowledge, the wisdom, and the understanding of the scriptures, okay? And with that, we're supposed to come up on a level to where we have a discerning spirit. We're able to discern in general, meaning make a distinction between make a decision on a particular situation that you might be in, or something that you're going to do, or discerning spirits, who to deal with, who not to deal with, how to deal with people. Okay? Which makes me, let me bring this out, makes me think of this in Hebrews 4 and 12. All right, it says, "For the word of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword." So that's the word with being able to use it, bring out the word with understanding. Okay? Not just the scriptures by themselves. It's just words on a page until you break them, until the prophets break them down and give understanding on them. Okay, it says piercing even to the dividing of the asunder of soul and spirit, because that's what the scriptures do. All right. It'll cut you. A lot of people get cut by the word, meaning it messes with their spirit, real bad. It mess them up. They may deny it, all that's BS there, I don't believe that, whatever the case may be, whatever's going through their head. But the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that's brought out by the prophets, okay, will cut people, cut their spirit. It says, "And of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart." So we can actually use these scriptures, okay, to discern the intent of man and their thoughts. We can how can I use wisdom in this case in the form of discernment, wisdom of the scriptures, to basically identify what kind of person a person is. All right, their intentions. And it does take a level of skill to do. All right, the skill or the talent of discernment. And in scripture, going back to Proverbs 2 and 11, it says, "If discretion shall preserve thee." Yep. Ultimately, having that mind, that discerning mind, by using this, of course, by using the scriptures. All right, and keep you out of danger. Preserve us from destruction. Preserve us from being in sticky situations, so to speak. All right? Hey, especially with dealing with these women. And I tell you, I didn't have my shortcomings, of really not dealing in the spirit and dealing in, thinking with the flesh, and getting caught up in a bad situation with a woman. Okay? We supposed to have, discern if you got a woman and she's becoming a distraction to the point where, it's throwing your focus off in this ministry, then you got to cut her off. And you got to know how to, if she's kind of cool, you got to know how to keep her at bay, with this wisdom. Meaning keep her, what I'm saying, what's the word I'm looking for? Operate, moving away, okay? To keep the woman cool. You know what I'm saying? You going just like Paul, the Apostle Paul says, if we marry, we shall have trouble in the flesh. There's no way around it. But with discernment, it helps you deal with your woman. I'm just using that as a prime example. It helps you deal on your job. You discern how to, you know how to move. Based upon using the wisdom and knowledge and understanding to discern the thoughts and intents of individuals. It says understanding, and ultimately what it's going to do is going to preserve the elect in these turbulent times that we're in, and it's going to get more turbulent as we get closer and closer to the end of this man's kingdom. It says understanding shall keep thee, and that makes me think of the scripture, Isaiah 33:6. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. Okay? So it says understanding shall keep us, or in other words, watch over us. Okay? And ultimately that's who? That's Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. But us doing these things, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is the one that's gonna keep us. With Revelation 3:10, you have let's bring that out real quick. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. And when you go into this part, the first part of this verse where it says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, patience is going into suffering. Keeping the word, we have to, operate in the discretion and understanding. And Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to recognize that, and is going to hold us down here in these last days. And he's been holding us down. We done been through all kind of shit, especially, our apostles, and elder bishops, and you got certain elders that's just, that's been in this thing for just about 20 years. And you done been in this thing for 5 years, 10 years. You didn't been through a little something, And Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai has watched over us. We all probably have testimonies of being in certain situations and didn't really see how we were gonna, come up out of it. How we was gonna make it through. Make it through the mental anguish, the stress, whatever the case may be. And then you came out of it through the spirit. It says, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation. That's the MOTB. The mandating and enforcing of the MOTB. Okay? The mark of the B. That's what the hour of temptation is. So if we keep the word, which you have to deal in understanding. You can't keep the word, you don't have the full, the 100% truth of the scriptures if you don't fully understand the scriptures. Okay? It says, which shall come upon all the world to try them which dwell upon the earth. Let's go back. Oh, come on, man. Undo. Here we go. All right, so back to the Proverbs 2:11. It says, discretion shall preserve thee. We are supposed to be on 11th level to have a spirit of discernment. You know? Using the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures. Okay? It says, in doing that, it shall preserve us ultimately from the hour of temptation and from the nuclear destruction that's going to come upon Babylon the Great. Understanding shall keep thee. The understanding to keep us stable, in other words. It'll watch over us in the form of keeping our minds from not bugging out when all hell breaks loose. For when diver, high intensity temptations come our way. So this was some short, short scripture, good, powerful scripture. Lord willing, this video was edifying. And until the next one, I say shalom.